Okay guys, so got my Volvo C70 here. I haven't driven this for a while. It's been probably 6-7 months now. I've always wanted to make this car my summer car and then make that one my daily driver. But yeah, it's got a lot of things wrong with this car, which pretty much is the whole point of this video. Okay, there's a leak there. Probably from the AC because I've had this car on for a bit with the aircon on. But yep, so this is pretty much like a project car that I've got this time around. As you can see, the roof is not closing properly. I've had a look at it. I think I know what the problem is. It's a D5 Volvo C70, the Euro 4 engine. Yeah, it's alright, it's powerful, it's nice. It's got that V, that straight 5 rumble that you like. 320mm front disc brakes, then 280 at the back. Yeah. So the boot, as you can see, it's a bit dirty. I've taken out the undercover because I just wanted to see what's wrong with it, so I've taken the undercover off. Yeah, as you can see, there's a steering rack over here. That's part of the problem, which I will show you later on what's going on with this car. And as you can see, there's an older drive shaft, which the problem is back. I put a new one, the problem came back, and it's mainly to do with this part, the center bearing, which seems to, I don't know what happens. I don't know what's causing it. Could it be the gearbox that's not balanced properly? We'll see. But yeah, it's gonna be a long project. Just getting the inside. So this is the interior of the C70. Pretty basic, pretty standard, I guess. You know, you get other ones with the dash, the sat nav over there, or you get, I think it's a subwoofer over there. But I've got the, let me just see what I've got on my system. So I've got the, I'll turn that off. Yeah, I've got the high performance. There's another stage on top which gets the subwoofer. I think it's in the boot, or it's either there on the dash or it's in the boot. I'm not too sure. But yeah, so this is going to be my project. I've got all the service parts as well. I've got the fuel filter, or the pollen filter as well. Or is it the air filter? Let me see. Yeah, it's a cabin filter, so that's the pollen thing. And then the rest is just junk. Yeah, it's an automatic D5. And with the amount of problems I've had with this car, the strongest bits have been old Volvo. But I'm having problems with the gearbox. When it gets hot, it's not changing into gear, so I'm guessing it's the oil that needs changing. We'll try it out before I get a used one. And then the drive shaft as well, again Ford. The bearings, again Ford. They've been a problem. The D5 engine, no issues at all. It still starts, no issues. I'll rev it up a bit. Yeah, I like that. See, they say diesels sound a bit bad, but like a tractor, but this definitely doesn't sound like a tractor. This sounds a bit different. I like it. Right, let's just take you around to the engine. Right, got the D5 there, got the cover on. So, the work that needs doing that I've identified on this car, which is like, I want to do it before summer started in the UK, but I guess I'm too late. So we've got the auxiliary belt over there that's making a noise. It's making a squealing noise. Now, I'm not too sure. I've got a gearbox mount for the back bit, but I'm not too sure if it goes on the automatic, so it's just for the manual cars. But I'm hoping that could fix the whole issue with the drive shaft as well, because it's a bit weird. because if that doesn't fix it, then the gearbox will need to go. Also, the gearbox needs an oil service, so I have to do that. I will do that as well on the driveway. Oh yeah, that blew out the last time I drove this car. Yeah, I mean, it was vibrating quite a lot to the point where it just went, the bulb just went. So I'm thinking that it got really bad. One of the things that I've noticed on this car is the controller. So a few years ago, about 2-3 years ago, I was in Leeds driving, doing what I shouldn't have been doing, and I think, well, actually I hit a curb at speed about 60 miles, burst this tire, and ever since then the car worked okay for a bit. But then I think that's when I started getting the issues with the steering rack, where it was just following the road wherever, like it's not as precise anymore. While looking under the car, one thing that I noticed as well is, just continue from where I left, looking at the car, from the bottom. If you look at the low controller, just over there, on this spot there, that is, so if you notice, that is bent, if you compare it to the other side. Just turn it out of the way. Okay, so now look at this side. It's different. This is straight. It's much straighter, and then only at this section there, that's where it only bends, while the rest is straight. Just going on the roof bit. I've had issues with the roof. Like I think for the past the roof, I would say it started about 2 months. 2 months before I stopped driving it, where it would, what used to happen was, it would just say, I mean, there'll be like an error. I'll be driving, and all of a sudden there's like an error on the dash saying that roof is not closed, and then I'll stop, and then it stops, and then I can continue driving like normal, and then it would just randomly show up. So what I ended up doing was, before I went through to check the roof, what I ended up doing is finding the fuse that, that's for the roof, so that I could, like, just not have the error messages coming up, and on and on and on. So I did that. I got that sorted out. And then the error stopped. But I was like, okay, I need to inspect this whole thing. Like, what's going on? Is it a broken cable? What is it? Is it the hydraulic oil was low? Which I think it is now, because what I found out when I took out when I took out all the covers on top, and I checked all the hydraulic cylinders and stuff like that. You see in the picture, which I'll show you now. Over here, I think it's on this midsection here. The locking cylinder, or that's what they call it, the locking cylinder. It's got a leak. So I'm guessing enough hydraulic oil has leaked over time, and now there's just not enough. There's just not enough for it to, for the pump to provide enough, hydraulic force to then complete the whole, opening and closing cycle, especially when it comes to locking the roof down. That's where I normally get the issue. So I will show you what happens. Let me show you what happens when I try to open it. I'll put back the fuse just so I can show you, and I'm just going to take out some stuff from the boot, just to allow myself to be able to close the cover bit. Right, here you go. Let's get the steering rack out of the way. Right, close this cover, make sure there's nothing in the way. So as you can see, it's not really locking up. If you notice, I can actually open this. I can open this if I wanted to. From this side. So instead of it shutting like this, it's not doing anything like that. So let's see what happens. What I'll show you is, if you notice, it will open. It might take a few tries for it to open, but it will open at some point. So the boot will open, but then it won't lock, or you won't see the windows going up. But you will notice that the windows won't go up. at the end, and then I'll do it again when it's closing, and then you will see what goes on. So I just thought, before I actually do the operation, I'll show you what it says. So this is the message that I get. I'm sure other people have got the same message before. I'll show you the fuse to take off if this ever happens to you. But just be careful when you're driving. Just make sure that the lid is actually locked, because if it's not, drive slow in case, you know, like say for example, in this case, if it's open like this a bit, you can imagine if you're doing 70 miles on the motorway and the wind happens to get hold of this could open up and then flip backwards. So what happened is, so say for example, this is another trick as well. If you were to be stuck, like say the roof is midway through closing, and then you get either this message or a red warning, and then saying that roof failure and stuff, just hold on to this button, let go, hold on to this button for at least 10 or 15 seconds. It will try again to complete the operation, and you could be lucky and it could close. If it doesn't close, you can go underneath. Oh, that's another procedure though. There's underneath there where you can open this seat bit. That's what I did on mine. And then there's a cable you pull to release, I think it's releasing the lock or something like that, but that depends. That's if the roof got stuck when it was open, fully open. So we've got that. So now, this time it's locked in. You can see, which makes me think that this is sort of like an intermittent problem. It's not like a, you know, major problem, which I know I can fix. So let's get this in. Let's get this sorted down. So what I think I could do with this is using a hydraulic seal. So what I'm going to do is now I'm going to record whilst closing it. Okay, and then okay, I'm going to tell you when I've pressed the button. So I've pressed the button to close it now. Let's see. That's what it says. So I'm going to keep holding, and then watch what happens. Still holding. You probably hear the pump soon. There you go. So where the issue is, which I'll show you now, once it's closing, it's this. If you can see, there is a bit of a leak. And then I want you to listen to the motor as well when it gets stuck. See, it just continues to go. Yep. So that's where things have been getting a bit messed up over here. It just continues to go because, and then it fails to lock like this. So my guess is it's that cylinder over there that needs either sealing. I'm going to try, before going for the expensive replace. Actually, you know, it's not an expensive to replace one of these cylinders, but the problem is it's hard to find. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and get the hydraulic, I think the sealant, and then see if it works, and then try to figure out how to get into that boot as well, because I mean into the reservoir, you know, the hydraulic reservoir for the roof, because I don't know where it is. I've looked at the pump, but it's well sealed up. So before I open it up, you know, I unzip the zip ties as well. I just want to make sure that I know what I'm doing from there. And then yeah, what else needs doing over here? I'm pretty sure a lot of people with Volvos, these cars, have had issues with the doors randomly opening up, you know, at cruising speed. But I'm just not gonna bother. I'll probably take them out and then just grease them up a bit, you know, try and clean them up a bit and then see if it works. Another thing that I've had an issue with is, but I managed to fix it, and it might help you guys if you have a problem similar to that, is the accelerator. You know, when because there's no cable that connects to the throttle body and stuff. It's all electric. So what could happen is, say for example, you're trying to accelerate, and then you step on the accelerator, and there's no response, and then out of nowhere, after like 2 seconds, there's like a surge of power, and then at the same time, your cruise control won't work anymore. You know, during that period where that's happening, and it's all down to the ECM that's just down there. Took it out, cleaned it. I also took out the cable, you know, the connectors there, just to make sure that, you know, it won't be, I don't miss anything, and it's worked ever since. And this has been a fault I had for like 3 years, you know, whilst owning this car. I didn't know until then. So yeah, if it helps, it helps. So, I'll just show you the fuse that you need to take out if you can't access your boot as well. So this is the one there. It's a 20 amp. Mine's a bit disconnected, so like now with it connected, I can't open the boot and that message will show. So if you remove that, that should be fine. But just make sure your boot is at least closed or sealed up. Or maybe if it happens in emergency, just use some tape, you know, some strong one, put it there, and then just seal it off. Makes it a bit stronger. So other things that would need doing. So you can see there's a bit of rust popping up here. Lacquer peeling over here. So lacquer again, peel here again as well. I don't know what this is. It just never comes off. So I'm gonna have to deal with it as well. Once the car's working, okay, that's fine. And then, yep, same thing over here. So as you see, now the boot opens as well. I can open the boot as long as you remove that fuse, then you're fine. And that message goes away as well, at least for now. Yeah. So we're good to go. We're gonna go for a test drive. Just a little run, and then hopefully it will show what's happening with the gears and then with the steering wheel as well. Let's take it for a little ride to the local shop, just get some air, see what just happened there. So it's already started. So let's see if I can get it warmed out. So I'm going to engage it into drive. As soon as it warms up, now it started. The delay, so it's neutral right now. I'm going to put it into drive, and that's potentially going to be like a delay in it starting. So I mean, in engaging. So you'll probably see the jerk when it does it. See nothing, and then there we go. Yeah. So that could be the oil. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do the oil bit. You know, see if it works. If it doesn't, I've got nothing else to lose. So just get a new gearbox and then get it fitted by the garage, because I'm not lifting that thing up by myself on the driveway. Unless I'm just looking for stuff like an impossible task to do. So let's take it for. God, look at that. Oh yeah, and we've got the left drive shaft as well, which I think could be an issue. I hear clicks, like random clicks, so I'm guessing there could be something wrong. So we've got the left drive shaft,
which is probably passenger drive shaft for the UK market. And then if you're on the right, if you drive on the left hand side, then we're talking about you being it'll be the driver's side. So then I'm going to speak based on the UK market. So that's my passenger side. Yeah, I can feel this car is following that road. Like, you know, I'm not too sure if fixing that control arm on the right side will fix the problem with it not, you know, being balanced properly, or it could be that the steering rack is actually gone. So we'll see how it goes. But yes, yeah, so it looks like potentially it's going to be 2 drive shafts that he's doing. The center bearing housing as well, the gearbox mount. That's if the automatics have them, which I've heard that they don't. You know, some of them don't. So we'll see how it goes. See, I don't know, but is it me or pretty much, I guess, people that do drive the D5, you know, the 5-cylinder cars, maybe the Euro 4, Euro 3, and Euro 5 D5s, how they sound. I find it really, like, I like the engine sound, but I love it. I find that when I'm driving the Jaguar, I tend to drive really slow. Like, I'm not really bothered about the sound. Oh yeah, that's hard. You know, I don't know if you heard that click again. It seems like, you know, there's like some hard downshifting as well. But yeah, I do like the sound here, but I don't hear that on the Jag. And the engine sounds a bit linear. Like, you know, there's no changes there's no character to it. Whereas I feel like the D5 does have some character to you know. I'm just trying to concentrate at the same time. But yeah, it does have character to its sound. You know, every rev range has a different sound to, you know, to the sound that it makes. So I'm getting some air. So they're not taking 20p's. I don't have 50p. My phone is not, I don't have my bank card on me, so I'm gonna have to do the whole just use the pump that I've got. So I thought it would be faster if I just came to Morrison's, and that would just give me the opportunity as well to test drive, you know, just to get the car moving at least, you know, because it's been set for more than a month. But yep, this is it. Just gonna top up that air and then see where we go. So I mean, the plan is, this is going to be the project car, and what I'm going to be doing is I am going to be recording, like, on just doing the progress thing, showing you how I'm fixing the car as well, you know. Hopefully you guys will learn one or two things. Correct me if I fix something wrong, but it is what it is, you know. I just fix cars for fun as well. You know, I've had other cars that I've had to fix. Oh God, I love this car. Look at that design though, like, apart from that boot thing, what's going wrong? Can't go wrong with this car, honestly. But that's that done. Yeah. I don't know, guys. Tell me, what could it be? Listen to that. I'm putting it in reverse, right? Right. Yeah. It's like, it's angry that it's that hard shifting. Hopefully I will find the problem and manage to fix it.